All right, so today I want to talk to you about an unfortunate situation that just took place. It affected about 60 small carriers. These carriers are owed millions of dollars by a brokerage who went out of business, who basically filed Chapter 7 protection. When you choose to do business with a brokerage or you choose to do business with a shipper as a brokerage, you don't know a whole lot about these businesses, right? And you think that these people are going to pay you. You go into this situation, eyes wide open, just thinking that, hey, I'm going to do a good job and I'm going to get paid for the job that I do. And unfortunately, you don't always get paid. Sometimes small carriers or large carriers, it really doesn't matter, have brokerages that will shaft them, that will not pay them. And then you have sometimes small brokerages that get shafted by shippers and don't get paid. And it's not like you may work with that person one time and they don't pay you. You may have been working with that person 10, 15 times. You may have been working with them the last year or 2 years. And until this point, you've always gotten paid, but now you're not getting paid. And this person owes you thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars in some of these instances. And it can have a detrimental effect on your business, right? It can make things really, really hard for you when you are expecting to get paid $9,500 and then all of a sudden the company that owes you files Chapter 7 protection. This just happened recently. June of this year, as a matter of fact, a company called TransPlus Freight Systems Incorporated out of Hernando, Mississippi, filed for Chapter 7 protection. They have 99 creditors, and they've already come out and said that the unsecured creditors, there would be no funding available after administration fees are paid. They also mentioned that they have $50,000 in assets, and guess how much in liabilities? Between $1 million and $10 million. So that's a whole lot of liabilities out there. Really unfortunate for the carriers that are in this situation because they are very likely not going to be paid. And earlier I mentioned that there's not a whole lot you can do to protect yourself in this situation, but there is one thing that stands out in my mind that you should definitely be doing as a small carrier working with a brokerage and as a brokerage working with a shipper. You should always be checking credit. If you find that there are issues with the credit, if there are slow pay issues, then you might not want to work with that broker. If you're a broker working with a shipper, you might not want to work with that shipper if this is the case, because it could mean that you're working, but you're probably not going to get paid. Now, there are situations where brokers just intentionally are not paying carriers, but there are also situations where you have brokerages that are in these environments, they're working and they're trying to make things work. And because of what's going on right now, there's slow freight volume. There's also a decline in rates. And brokerages, just like carriers, are struggling. And they're struggling to pay their bills. And they happen to owe you. It's very likely you might not get paid. So you want to make sure that you're checking credit to make sure that the broker is on solid financial ground. Now, just as an FYI, earlier I mentioned some unsecured creditors that would not be funded. Those creditors are as follows. It says here, among Transport Freight's top 20 unsecured creditors are Shannon Robinson of South Haven, Mississippi, who is owed nearly $3 million. Wow. Zoom Technologies of Baldwin Park, California, which is owed nearly $66,000. The petition lists over 60 small trucking companies as unsecured creditors, including CTH Transport LLC of Dallas, owed more than $23,000. Red Star Trucking, also of Dallas, owed nearly $8,000, and Power Transport LLC of Memphis owed nearly $9,400. Now, these are some really big numbers, and they are really hard to overcome. When someone owes you thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, as a business, it's hard to overcome that type of loss. So the best thing for us as business people is to not put ourselves in that situation. Make sure that you're doing everything within your power to protect your business, to protect your best interests. And one way that you can protect your best interests and protect your business is to make sure that you're doing those credit checks. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight brokerage business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series. It'll give you a chance to come into the office with me via video, and you can watch me talk to shippers, talk to carriers, so you can get a better understanding of how the business works, how freight brokers actually move loads from point A to point B, not just talking about it, but showing you exactly how it's done as a load moves from point A to point B. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.